Hugh Edwards wasn't the only one that got away with that thing. Colour me shocked in the UK, colour me shocked, where sentences are literally nothing. In case you don't know about Hugh Edwards, he was the BBC presenter that got 6 months suspended sentence for 41 indecent images of children. He also swapped a pair of Air Force.
Former BBC News presenter Hugh Edwards was found with 377 or so images of children on his phone, 41 of which were deemed indecent. One of those images was of a child between the age of 7 years old and 9 years old.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My good name is Gracey D, your African diva. I hope you guys are doing well. So today I was scrolling on TikTok. I came across very disturbing news, and I don't know if you've seen this or you've heard about this case of Hugh Edward, like this celebrity and the most known BBC News presenter. He's been charged with 3 counts of making indecent images of children by receiving them during online chats, and on 16th September he was given 6-month suspended jail sentence and placed on the sex offenders register. Like, this guy did not go to jail. This guy, the most thing that the judge felt was gonna do is just placing him on the sex offenders register. And I was asking myself, really, this is definitely because he gave some reasons as to why he was doing this, and like he had over 30 photos of kids under the age of 15, and he was paying to get these photos. So I've gathered videos for you guys. Let's watch the videos together and we'll come back to it. Let me know your thoughts on the comments section.
Hi and welcome. Hugh Edwards wasn't the only one that got away with that thing. Colour me shocked in the UK, colour me shocked, where sentences are literally nothing. In case you don't know about Hugh Edwards, he was the BBC presenter that got 6 months suspended sentence for 41 indecent images of children. He also swapped a pair of Air Force for images, so there you go. Well, here's other ones that Daily Mail presented to you, of course. Look at that. One of them appears to be in the court system. Crazy that. It's as if they run the court system. It's as if all these suspended sentences that happen, there must be a reason for it. People say it's within guidelines and all that kind of stuff. Well, if it is, mate, things need to change. I don't understand how, as I've always said, people are going away for tweets, and yet these people that are out for these images of kids, it's a harmful thing. It's a harmful thing to kids, and these are allowed out on suspended sentences. It's a joke. That's all I've got to say. What more can you say about it? Like,
Good morning. Former BBC News presenter Hugh Edwards was found with 377 or so images of children on his phone, 41 of which were deemed indecent. One of those images was of a child between the age of 7 years old and 9 years old. The majority of them were of children between the ages of 13 years old and 15 years old. Right. Hugh Edwards gets paid around, his salary is like around £475,000 a year to £489,000 a year approximately. He was the highest paid BBC employee, I believe, or news presenter from what I know. He was sentenced recently, the other day. I didn't make a video about it when I first heard about it, because I feel like whatever I would have said would have ended me up, would have ended with me having the jail sentence that he should have gotten. So he got a 6-month suspended sentence, 6 months suspended custodial sentence, so he doesn't go to jail. Instead, he needs to do some kind of course, and he's going to be on the sex offenders register for 7 years. Now, what I want to talk to you about is not so much that, but it is that. It's the fact that the judge felt like it was punishment enough that his reputation is now in tatters, and he doesn't think that, and he feels like the judge felt like Hugh could be rehabilitated. But what I want to understand is, I thought you said prison was rehabilitative. But we've always known that prison was punitive, as in prison is a punishment, right? But you've sold us the idea that people are being sent there to be rehabilitated and this, that, and the other. Why can't he go then? Why is he allowed to not go? And obviously we realize that prison, the people that end up in prison, it's a class issue. Prison is a class issue, as well as a race issue, and all of that, but it's a class issue because we do not tend to send rich men to jail, no matter what they've done. It's very rare that we send rich men to jail, right? And I feel like it's interesting that when he gave his statement, his statement as to what happened and why he ended up being the kind of person that he is, he said that in his childhood, his father was monstrous. Like, how his father presented to the world was not how he treated the rest of the family, and that deeply affected him psychologically. Okay, we know that. We know that people who are abused can oftentimes end up becoming their wound and also abusing in one way, shape or form. We've seen that across the board. Now this is the part that gags me. He said, aside from that, the disappointment of not getting into Oxford University and having to go to Cardiff University was what sent him over the edge. Baby, what? Oxford University. You see, because I also didn't go to Oxford University. I didn't apply. But you see, like, I've faced rejection in my life in so many different ways, and what does not come to my mind is, you know what, because I faced this rejection, you know what I'm going to do? I want to see images. I want to see indecent images of children. There are also many people who applied for Oxford University and didn't get in, and they didn't go, you know what, let me be a paedophile. So it's not adding up. But that statement wasn't ever for us. That statement was a class indicator that this is the level I'm at. This is what I expected to be doing with my life. And so that was meant to appeal to the judge, not to us. Now, the next thing I'm going to say, you might say is defamatory. I don't know, whatever. But I feel like there is a secret society. There are many secret societies across the world, but especially in Britain, where men of a specific type of societal status, of a specific kind of echelon in us, in this sphere or in these various spheres, that they support each other. They've got a brotherhood, a siblinghood, whatever you want to call it, because I know the women are involved as well, and they support each other when things like this happen. They do it a lot. I think, would be really scared to realize just how many PDF files are in our society, from the very top, Prince Andrew, to the very bottom, when we think about the child trafficking rings and the grooming rings that we see across the UK. But what's funny is that whenever we see this presented in the news, they're usually showing us South Asian people. But when you look at the stats, overwhelmingly the pedophiles in the UK specifically are white men. Yet that is not, we rarely see images of those plastered across newspapers. And look at how in this situation with Hugh Edwards, they're dealing with it gently. You lot aren't calling the guy a rascal pedo, which he is. Philip Schofield, also dash him in there as well. All the men that you have, not all the men, a few of the men that you have presenting the news to us presently and historically are PDF files. They're nasty guys. And I just feel like the judiciary is not going to give us the justice that we deserve in order to protect our children. I feel like if I was a judge and I found out that you had indecent images of children on your phone, and then you're telling me that the reason that you had indecent images of children on your phone is because you didn't get into Oxford University, I'm jumping over the table. And I'm whacking you with a gavel. But that's just me personally. Maybe it's just the Peckham in me. But I just think it's disgusting that these men protect each other. And I just wonder, if Hugh Edwards didn't have the money that he has, the status that he has, the reputation that he had, what would happen then? So if we're not going to get the justice that we need in order to protect our children in this society, well, I just feel like the universe has a way of balancing itself out. Now, this is a random statement, not connected to anything that I've just said. I feel like if the universe decides to balance itself out because you're at one of these parties that people are pretending that you haven't done what you've done, and somebody is used as the physical vessel to do the balancing that the universe needs, then I won't be mad at it. I won't be mad at it, but that is not related to anybody in particular. But I don't think enough is being done to protect the children in this world, and one way or another, we're going to protect the children in this world.
The BBC's former top news anchor, Hugh Edwards, has avoided prison after admitting he had images of extreme child abuse. He's been given a 6-month suspended sentence, which means he won't go to jail unless he reoffends in the next 2 years. He will have to complete a offender program. He had claimed he had mental health problems at the time and couldn't remember seeing any of the images.
There's something very wrong, and it feels like there is a two-tier system where some people or some crimes are looked at differently from much more minor ones, and we don't want that.
How is it we've got to a situation, and leave the riots aside because obviously that is a slightly sort of toxic issue in terms of what happened over the summer, but more generally, do you understand the anger that people will see and feel that, you know, someone says something stupid on the internet, writes something, you know, it may be racist, it may be horrible, but they're not paedophiles, and they're going down for 3 years, and this guy, a powerful rich man, wanders out of court. How do you explain that to the punter?
It doesn't make any sense, and this is why I said we need to have a review. It does feel like there are certain people who are policed in a way that is a lot more strict for very minor things, and we need to have faith in our justice system, but also a key conservative principle is equality under the law. It shouldn't matter whether you have money or you work for the BBC or you've been on TV, you should be punished for having committed something as serious as that. It is extremely serious, and I think a lot of people will be looking at how many of the sort of media establishment came out to defend him very early on. Yes, of course, you believe in innocence before until you're proven guilty, but the glee with which many of them went out to defend him, I think, given what he has been convicted of, shows that there is an attitude that there's some people who could possibly have done something wrong, and we should not
Leave it.
Well, guys, there are some comments that I had gathered, from these clips, and one said, this actually sends an absolutely devastating message to the poor victims. Someone else said, tell me the judges are not involved in the ring, and the worst kind of abuse images and no jail. Are all judges part of the same group as him? And then somebody else went on ahead and said, it's a big circle, they'll have that on loads of high-end people. And somebody else, somebody else said, only us parents can protect our own kids. It's a sad day for the justice system. And somebody else went on ahead and said his sentence was within the guidelines. Like, that's, I don't know how their laws works, but if that's how it works, I mean, that's crazy. Like, how, like, so somebody can get away with what they do as long as they have an excuse to why they did what they did, because his excuse was because of child trauma since he was young, and the fact that he didn't get a chance to get to Oxford, that added more to what he's been facing in life. And mind you, this happened when he was young. Right now he's over 60 years old, and still the judge was like, considered that, and they were like, yeah, you're gonna get 6 months out, and I don't know. Somebody else said they need stronger guidelines, and 6 months suspended for 2 years is not a sentence. Why is the judge not being investigated? Somebody else said, didn't someone get 5 years for stopping the stopping the traffic just recently? It's absolutely disgraceful. Justice system clearly isn't working, and it sets the wrong example. Edward is part of a big club and was let off out of fear he's gonna spill the beans. It's that simple. We, or most of us, agree but are powerless to act. They agree that it's not okay, everything that they're doing is not okay, the justice system is not doing okay, but they're powerless to act. Like, what do you mean you guys are powerless to act? You are on the streets demonstrating, chasing immigrants from your countries, but when someone has done something like this and the justice system is not fair, now you don't have the power? Excuse me, like, okay. Yeah, so those are the comments that I had. There's another one. Ultimately, it's up to a judge. They take things into consideration and it affects sentencing. It's a part of our judicial system. I mean, something needs to be done. They need to like revise this judicial system of theirs, because it's clearly not working right. Imagine now, for example, an immigrant goes ahead and does the same thing, and you know, they go on ahead, they say, since childhood I've been facing a lot, you know, that's why I'm even like trying to come to this country itself was a trauma for me, having people chasing me and telling me to go back to my country. It's been so traumatizing. I haven't been good mentally, and this is why I was asking for indecent photos of kids, and this is why I did what I did. Would the case be the same? Would the ruling be the same? I mean, it's just a question I have, because I honestly don't know, guys. And they also, somebody else said the sentencing guidelines need to be reviewed, plus judges need to be changed. And somebody else, why was a magistrate dealing with it and not a high court judge? Yeah, that's a good question. And isn't there an appeal system that can be used by public if they think the sentence is too lenient? Yeah, guys, so I just saw this and I was like, no, this one is it's a bit out of my mental health state league, because I don't even understand how he can just go away like that. I don't know. And the fact that he's someone that of course people are looking up to. I know the people like doing journalism, and you know, there are people who are like worshipping, you know, like how people are with these big celebrities. And actually this has gotten me, like what I've seen happening to celebrities right now, it's a good lesson for people to learn. These people are not who you think they are. These people, they'll be stressing you in your life. You want to be like somebody. I want to live, I want to have a life of someone's life out there because I see them on social media, because they're celebrities, but behind closed doors, you don't know what they're doing. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. And if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, kindly consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and share. And until the next episode, bye.